So this is Wednesday's homework of week 16. So we're going to go ahead and look at problem number 1, where I have a chart that is showing me the value of two angles, and they need me to find the complement, supplement, and vertical. So remembering my complement, C comes before S, 90 comes before 180. This is going to be my 90 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to label my supplement as 180. And then I'm going to label my vertical as same, because vertical angles are angles across from each other and they always have the same value. So complement, 90 degrees. 90 minus 35 will give us a leftover of 55 degrees. That would be my complement. These two together total 90. For the supplement, 180 minus 35 will give me a value of 145 degrees. And again, 35 and 45, when I total those together, add them, it should equal 180. And then really simple, the same value goes in for vertical. For my second value, I'm given 86 degrees. The complement is going to be 90 minus 86, so the complement's 4 degrees. For supplement, 180 minus 86 degrees will be 94 degrees. And again, really simple, vertical angles across from each other always have the same value. This would be 86 degrees. We're going to go ahead and move over to number 2. We're still working with angles here. I'm going to flip my color so that you can see what we're looking at. Right now we're looking at two angles, angle 1 and angle 2, that together are supplementary angles. They're going to total 180. So I'm going to create an equation that totals these two amounts and makes it equal to 180. So let's go ahead and just move straight across. 114 plus 2x plus 5 equals 180. Now, on the left-hand side here, I have two like terms. I have these constants of 114 and 5. And of course, I still remember to grab my sign ahead so I can make sure that I am keeping my integers correct. So I have 114 plus 5 is going to be 119. So it's 2x plus 119 equals 180. Remember, saving the 2x for last, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of my 119 by subtracting by 119 on both sides, which will leave me of a value of 2x is equal to 61. Now, I'm going to divide both sides by by 2 to leave me just with x. So I get a value of x of 30.5. Now, I need to go back to my question and see what the question is asking me, because a lot of us are getting thrown off because sometimes they'll ask us what is the value of this angle, not the value of x. But in this case, it does say find the value of x, so I can stop at this point. There's no need to substitute back in. Okay, number 3, we have some triangles here. We're going to be comparing these two because it's telling me these two triangles are similar figures. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I notice that these triangles are not in the same direction. So here I have what's called a hypotenuse, because this is a right triangle. Okay, I'm going to flip my triangle so that my bottom has a value of x, my tall side has a value of 24, and then there's no value here. Going ahead and using my little trick here, I like to circle the sides that I'm comparing to create the fraction. And in this case, I have 16 over 10 is equal to 24 over x. I'm going to cross multiply. 16 times x is 16x. 24 by 10 is 240. I'm going to divide both sides by 16, and when I do that, I get a value of x is 15. Okay, last problem is one that you will probably not see, because this problem is going to really lead into our 8th grade curriculum. But we always like to give students the opportunity to work ahead, see if they can figure some things out. And we are given something called the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And in this triangle, a is going to refer to the side, b, and c. So I'm just going to substitute into the formula. 5 goes in where a is squared plus b as a value of 7 squared equals c squared. I'm going to go ahead and calculate out. 5 squared is 5 times 5, so that's 25. 7 squared is 7 times 7, so that's 49, equals c squared. Totaling these two together, when I add them, I'm going to get a total of 74. is equal to c squared. Now this is the part that may be really unusual for you all, because we have a variable here, but the variable isn't just a variable by itself. It has the square factor there. So this is where we use something called the square root. So I would take the square root of c, and the square root of c is c, because c times c is c squared. And I'd also need to take the square root of 74. And all I'm looking for is the number that would multiply itself to get to 74. There's also a little button on your calculator. It's going to require you to hit the second button first, but if you hit second and then you look for the symbol that looks like this, that calculates square root for you. So when I punch in square root of 74, it's going to give me a value of 8.6023, but in this case I'm just going to round right here because I don't need to write all those things in. This is sufficient. Okay.